Introduction. In the remote, serene valleys of Tibet, where the Himalayas pierce the sky with their majestic peaks, lies the ancient monastery of Dorje Ling. This sacred place has been a sanctuary of wisdom and peace for centuries. The monks of Dorje Ling are known for their deep spirituality and unwavering dedication to the path of enlightenment. Among these monks was Jampa, a young novice whose journey would serve as a profound cautionary tale. The aspiring monk. Jampa was born in a small village near the base of the mountains. His parents, humble farmers, noticed his spiritual inclination from a young age. When he was 10, they brought him to Dorje Ling, hoping he would find his true calling. The monastery's abbot, Lama Tupin, saw great potential in Jampa and welcomed him with open arms. Under Lama Tupin's guidance, Jampa immersed himself in the monastic life. He quickly adapted to the early morning meditations, the rigorous study of scriptures, and the simple yet disciplined lifestyle. His dedication and humility earned him the respect of his peers and elders. However, within his heart, a seed of ambition began to take root. The ambition. As Jampa's knowledge and abilities grew, so did his desire for recognition. He wanted to be more than just another monk. He aspired to achieve enlightenment and be revered as a great spiritual leader. This ambition, though subtle at first, started to cloud his judgment. He began to push himself harder, meditating for hours on end and seeking deeper insights out in the scriptures. One day, while meditating in the forest, Jampa had a vision. He saw himself as a radiant being, surrounded by followers who looked up to him with admiration. This vision filled him with both excitement and unease. He believed it was a sign of his destined greatness, but he also felt a strange disconnection from the true essence of his spiritual practice. The encounter with a stranger. During one of his solitary meditations in the forest, Jampa encountered a mysterious figure. The man was cloaked in dark robes and had an unsettling presence. He introduced himself as Dorje, a former monk who had left the path of righteousness to explore forbidden knowledge. Dorje spoke of hidden powers and secret rituals that could accelerate one's journey to enlightenment. "Why spend decades in pursuit of wisdom," he whispered, "when you can achieve it in a fraction of the time?" Jampa was intrigued but wary. His training had taught him to be cautious of shortcuts. However, the promise of rapid enlightenment and unparalleled power was too tempting to resist. Despite a lingering sense of dread, he agreed to learn from Dorje. The descent into darkness. Under Dorje's tutelage, Jampa began practicing dark rituals that involved chanting forbidden mantras and invoking spirits. Initially, he experienced a surge of power and heightened awareness. He could see and feel things beyond the ordinary realm. But with each ritual, a shadow grew within him. His fellow monks noticed the changes. Jampa became increasingly isolated, his once gentle demeanor replaced by an unsettling intensity. Lama Tupin, sensing the darkness enveloping Jampa, tried to intervene. "You are straying from the path," he warned. "Return to the light before it's too late." But Jampa was too far gone. The power he had tasted was intoxicating, and he believed he could control it. He deluded himself into thinking that once he achieved ultimate enlightenment, he would use his newfound abilities for the greater good. The ritual of ultimate enlightenment. Driven by his escalating ambition, Jampa decided to perform a final, powerful ritual that Dorje had revealed to him. This ritual promised to grant him ultimate enlightenment and divine power. He secluded himself in a remote cave, preparing for the ritual with meticulous care. As Jampa began the chant, dark clouds gathered overhead, and the air grew thick with an unnatural energy. The ground trembled, and a sense of foreboding permeated the atmosphere. The ritual intensified, and Jampa felt an immense force building within him. He believed he was on the brink of achieving his goal. The void of darkness. At the climax of the ritual, Jampa was abruptly pulled into a void of darkness. In this void, he encountered the spirits he had invoked. They were not benevolent guides, but vengeful entities who had been manipulating him all along. They revealed the true nature of the path he had chosen, a path of destruction and despair, not enlightenment. The spirits showed him visions of his past, his master's teachings, and the suffering he had caused by straying from the righteous path. Jampa saw how his ambition had blinded him, leading him away from the true essence of Buddhism: compassion, humility, and inner peace, the ultimate realization. In that moment of profound clarity, Jampa realized the gravity of his mistakes. The enlightenment he sought could never be achieved through dark means. True wisdom and inner peace required patience, selflessness, and a pure heart. But the realization came too late. The darkness he had embraced consumed him entirely, trapping him in the void. The aftermath in the monastery. When the storm subsided and the skies cleared, the monks found Jampa's lifeless body in the cave. Lama Thupten, his heart heavy with sorrow, performed the last rites and prayed for Jampa's soul to find peace. The monastery was plunged into mourning, not only for Jampa's death, but also for the loss of his potential and the promise he had once held. Lama Thupten gathered the monks in the main hall and shared Jampa's tragic story as a cautionary tale. "Let this be a lesson," he said, his voice echoing through the silent hall, "that the pursuit of enlightenment is a journey that requires patience, humility, and unwavering commitment to the righteous path. Ambition and shortcuts lead only to suffering and darkness." The legacy of Jampa. The monks vowed to honor Jampa's memory by staying true to their teachings and avoiding the pitfalls of ambition and arrogance. They understood that the path to enlightenment was not about power or recognition, but about cultivating inner peace, compassion, and wisdom. Jampa's story spread beyond the monastery, reaching other temples and villages. It became a parable, a timeless reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of staying true to one's principles. Monks and lay people alike took the tale to heart, using it to guide their own spiritual journeys. Conclusion: a timeless cautionary tale. Jampa's life and ultimate downfall serve as a powerful cautionary tale for all who seek enlightenment. His story reminds us that the true path to wisdom and inner peace is a long and arduous journey, one that requires patience, humility, and steadfast adherence to righteous principles. Shortcuts and the allure of quick power can lead us astray, plunging us into darkness and despair. May Jampa's story inspire us to remain vigilant on our spiritual path, ever mindful of the shadows that lurk along the way. Let us remember that true enlightenment comes from within, nurtured by compassion, humility, and unwavering dedication to the teachings of the Buddha. Epilogue: the light after the darkness. Years passed, and the tale of Jampa became deeply embedded in the culture of Dorje Ling and the surrounding villages. The monks continued to uphold the teachings of the Buddha, ever mindful of the lessons learned from Jampa's tragic fate. They focused on living lives of simplicity, compassion, and inner peace. One day, a young boy named Tashi arrived at the monastery, seeking refuge and guidance. He reminded Lama Thupten of Jampa, not just in appearance, but in the spark of spiritual potential that radiated from him. Lama Thupten took Tashi under his wing, guiding him with the same wisdom and compassion he had shown Jampa. As Tashi grew, he heard the story of Jampa and understood the profound lessons it contained. He vowed to walk the righteous path, learning from the mistakes of the past. With each step, he cultivated humility, patience, and a deep sense of compassion for all beings. Through Tashi and others like him, the legacy of Dorje Ling endured. The monks continue to spread the teachings of the Buddha, reminding all who came seeking wisdom that the true path to enlightenment is not a race, but a journey of a lifetime, marked by unwavering commitment to the principles of compassion, humility, and inner peace. Final reflections. The story of monk Jampa serves as a timeless reminder that the pursuit of enlightenment is fraught with challenges and temptations. It teaches us that true wisdom and inner peace cannot be attained through shortcuts or the allure of power. Instead, they are the fruits of a life dedicated to the principles of compassion, humility, and steadfast adherence to the righteous path. As we navigate our own spiritual journeys, let us remember Jampa's tale and strive to remain true to our values. May we seek enlightenment not for glory or recognition, but for the betterment of ourselves and all beings. In doing so, we honor the teachings of the Buddha and the enduring legacy of those who came before us, guiding us with their wisdom and compassion.